Josh Heilman from the Winamac, Indiana store. I've been field technician here for 13 years now.
I'm Rick Francis. I'm a tech at Remington, Indiana store. Been working on this combines and stuff like that for 10 to 15 years at Bane's now.
I am Kalen Hawley. I am with Plymouth Bane-Welker, service road tech, 20 years.
SIP is a specialized inspection program. What we actually do is we go through, you know, your combine, your grain heads, or your tractors or whatever, and try to find things that will be causing you issues during the busy season and try to head them off and get them repaired in a hurry.
Yeah, so the combine, we have a pre-printed inspection sheet that we go through, and when we're doing an inspection, we're going to hit all those maintenance points all the way through the machine. So that's checking all the wear items, especially the wear items that we're aware of that tend to be across the board high maintenance or high wear items. We're looking at those. We're also looking at the structure of the machine, making sure everything's intact. No evidence of weld cracking or anything like that that's, you know, maybe a customer on a day-to-day basis isn't looking for.
Just basically take all the belts and chains loose, check all the bearings, check the rotor condition, check for holes in the cone, worn drive sprocket in the throats, give a look, the engine compartment and the grain tank a look over. Anything that would typically break down, look it over, and if there's question, mark it to repair it.
It's only needed oil and filters, and that's all we've had to do to this machine. And I've had to hand them a pretty extensive list on actually how much wear that machine has done. These especially flagship machines do a very good job, even right up to the point that they are worn out. And customers are not aware about how much wear and tear they have done to those machines over the years, even though it's still running very well, but there's not much left on the backside.
Get it wrote down, get the customer this list, he can go through it, and at this point in time, he can decide if he wants to fix it or not. But the best thing about the deal is you know, we're finding the issues before pre-season.
So I recommend doing them every year. That way, for a couple things of it. One, we can see what your wear is in the last year, but sometimes we can, especially after we've done a couple of inspections, we can start to forecast based off of what wear we see. We can start to forecast maybe what is forthcoming in the next year or 2 years based off of the wear we've already seen. So you can really start to use that as a tool for planning for the farm.
These small breakdowns just keep compiling up to a larger one. We give them a list of repairs that needs to be done on there, and now he can take a look at this repair and think, you know, this is going to cost this is going to cost this. It might be advantageous to trade the machine and get something a little better, or fix the machine. It's you know, that's why I said we make a detailed list, and that gives the customer an informed, what does his machine look like inside.
Yeah, so a lot of times there's components that, you know, if an individual item gets worn too far, it can damage a bigger component. So, or in scenarios where a minor oil leak that we can take care of at an inspection and repair time can forego, say, a bearing failure in the field the next season. So there's some major situations like that we can take care of.
Well, if they're around when I do the inspection or repairs, they can see what we're working with and things for them to keep an eye on if I'm not there, and they can call me and say, hey, something doesn't look right when you put, you know, I seen how that come apart or whatever 2 years ago, and something's not right again. So it's kind of educational for them, I guess.
Yeah, so the big thing, if you're doing these regular inspections, we generally, if the customer's not done the inspection up front, the first time there tends to be a fairly hefty repair bill, but then you will generally see that bill start to decrease every year as we're staying on top of that maintenance. It helps spread that out over the life of the machine.
So how can Productivity Plus benefit a customer's productivity? Really, it's about credit availability. It's about cash flow. So productivity gives you the opportunity or the advantage of choosing when you want to pay, and that directly impacts cash flows in and out of your business.
It also spreads out my payments. So if I do the work have the work done in June, I get the bill June 30th, my bill's due July 30th. So it actually allows me, if I need to spread out my payments, if things are tighter, what have you. So it's a huge advantage to the operation.